Good morning, Pankhurst, and welcome to your third talk for writing lesson this week. So our learning objective today is can I plan a recount? So since last week, we have been looking at recounts, and in particular, we have been looking at Jane Pinney's Diary of a Housemaid. Okay, so today we are going to plan our own recount. We are going to pretend we are a Victorian child and will write a diary entry as though we are them. This is your plan. Please keep it safe as we will be writing it up tomorrow. Below, I've got a link for a video, and I would like you to watch that video. The link is on the task sheet, which was sent out to your parents last week, and it will also be underneath the video in its description, okay? And I will also post it onto our class team's chat. I want you to make notes about what happens from the moment they are in the Victorian period, which is 2 minutes and 40 seconds. Okay, you can pretend to be either the boy or the girl. So what I would like you to do now is pause the video and on your mini whiteboards, make notes of the video from when it gets into the Victorian period. Okay, come back to my video when you are ready. Now, here are some notes. If you missed any, then add them in. Okay, I made some notes while I was watching the video. So if you can see, my language is very informal and also it is note taken language. So it's just jotted down. So these are the notes that I've taken down. Walked to school with Granddad, met friends on the way and said bye to Granddad, sat down in class, had to clean slate for lesson. So someone got told off for using their sleeve. Began lessons. Someone gave my brother a yo-yo to play with. He got told off by the teacher for playing. He was made to stand in the corner with the dunce hat, and his name was written down in the punishment book. Granddad came to class with a zoetrope to teach us. Everyone watched it, played with different Victorian toys. Girl showed off her hobby horse, looked around a massive house, found other toys, hid behind a curtain, but was found and went home. Yeah, those are my notes. So you can pause the screen and note down anything that you have missed out. Now, as a reminder, here is our toolkit. Okay, so now these are the tools that are needed for you to write a recount. Your recount must be written in past tense. Your recount needs adverbials of time and time connectives. Because it's a recount, you know, you're mentioning a lot about when something happened. It needs to be written in chronological order. So you need to write down the events in the order they happened. You need to use emotive words and language. So in our English lesson yesterday, we looked at emotive words and how we can use emotive words and language in our sentences. It needs to be written in first person because it's about you. There needs to be a day and a date to show when, to basically let you know when something happened. It needs to be an informal piece of writing with a chatty voice, and this is because it's a recount. It's something that you've written down. Yeah, so it doesn't need to be formal. You need to use contractions. There needs to be varied sentence structures. You need to be able to use closing statements to reflect on what's happened. And then you use pronouns to avoid repetition. Now, this is what our plan will roughly look like. Within the main bulk of what happened, here we will include things like emotive language, past tense, first person, and informal writing and adverbials of time and time connectives. Let's plan together. Watch me as I plan in my book, and then you can have a go after each part. Remember, this is a plan, so you don't need to write in full sentences. Use your notes from the video and our toolkit to help you. So, the first part is the day or the date. And this is important because when you have a recount, you need to know when something happened. You can either write the date as in day 46, like the way it's written in the Diary of a Housemaid, or give an exact date, but you must remember that you are pretending to be a Victorian. You are pretending to live in the Victorian times. So your date needs to match the period of the Victorians' time. Okay, so now watch me write my date. Okay, I'm going to show you how I am going to write it. So at the top of my page here, I'm going to write the date, and I am going to write, the date I've chosen to write is 5th May 1891. Okay, you can write the same date as mine, or you can write your own date, but you need to make sure that the year is of the Victorian times. Okay, now make sure, Pankhurst, you're using a pencil, not a pen, and you need to make sure that you start writing from the margin. Okay, now pause the screen, and when you write your date, and when you're ready, come back to the. Now let's plan the main bulk. Use your notes from the video to help you with this bit. Okay, so we are going to use we're going to use the notes that you have written on your whiteboards to help you write the bulk of your recount. So over here I've got the adverbials and time connectives mat, and I've also got the toolkit for you here. You should be using these, including your notes, to help you write the bulk. Now watch me do mine. Okay, now I am going to start right, I'm going to miss a line and start writing from here, and I'm going to start from the margin. So now the first thing I am going to do is write the first thing I'm going to write is I'm going to use an adverbial, so I'm going to write morning. Okay, so remember it's note form, so I'm just doing it as bullet points. Morning, walk to school with granddad. Okay, I'm just going to write some emotions. So I'm going to say happy because he gets sweets for us. Okay, the next one, the next thing that I'm going to write down is on the way. So that is my next adverbial of time. Met friends. Bye to granddad and went to class. Okay, so then you can say, as I walked in. So if you can see, I've used morning, which is fronted adverbial. I've written on the way, which is the adverbial of time, and I've also written as I walked. So it's telling me when I did it. As I walked in, sat down. And I'm just going to describe the class. So I'm going to say the class was noisy, cramped, and busy. And the reason I'm saying this is because you know, during the Victorian times, classes had between 75 to 100 children. Do you remember we looked at that last week? Yeah, so I'm trying to emphasize the fact that the class was really busy. Now, I'm also going to say, when I sat I cleaned slate. Okay, look, it's note form. And I'm going to say my friend got in trouble because he used his sleeve. And then his sleeve became dirty and ripped. Yeah. And if you can see where I've spoken about where I sat down, I've used the power of 3: noisy, cramped, and busy. Okay. Now I'm going to pretend I'm the boy. So I'm going to say I was given yo-yo and I played. Yeah. And I've also used first person I, yeah, my. So I was given yo-yo, I played, and then I was told off. I was punished, which made me feel upset. Yeah. And then you can also say I was sat in the corner, I was sat with dunce hat. How do you think that must have made him feel sitting there with a dunce hat? Embarrassed. Embarrassed, okay? So I've got a feeling, I've used I again, got a feeling. And what else? What else could we say? When granddad came, so at lunchtime I could say after lunch. Yeah. Now that's my other adverbial of time. After lunch. Granddad came, so we trip. Okay. And everyone was excited and found it fun. Okay. Now that's my adverbial of time again. You know, if I've used first person, I've used past tense, and the reason I know I've used past tense is because I said I walked to school. That's something that's happened. I sat. I was. Yeah. Now, what I would like you to do is pause the screen and then write the bulk of your recount, right? Using the toolkit and the adverbial of time. And when you are ready, come back to the lesson to move on to the next part. Fantastic. Now we are going to write the closing statement. A closing statement is a reflection on your day, okay? What your day was like. Did you enjoy your day? Did you not enjoy your day? How did it make you feel? So watch me as I plan mine, okay? Now, my reflection of my day is like a conclusion. It's a valuation of how my day was. Okay. So my closing statement could be, I could write down it was an extraordinary day. Played with friends, played with my friends, yeah, and granddad came. You know, I thought it was quite fun playing with the yo-yo. Although, so I've used a fronted adverbial, although fun with yo-yo, I was embarrassed for being punished. Okay, fantastic. So now, year 3, if you pause the screen and then write your closing statement, and then come back to my lesson when you are ready. Okay, now that you have planned out your closing statement, you have planned your whole recount. So you need to make sure you keep these plans safe, as you will need them for tomorrow's lesson. Do not forget to upload your plans to Tapestry, and I am really looking forward to seeing them. Okay, see you in your next lesson. Bye.